You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney theme parks podcast, and this is show number 340 for Sunday the 22nd of November 2020. My name is Michelle Young, and together with my jolly good chum Jane Phipps, we are your guides to the place where dreams begin. Now don't forget us on that there social media. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at DisDreamGirls, our website for show notes and lots more, DisneyDreamGirls.com, and we also have our very own Patreon page where you can support the show and in return receive lots of Disney Dream Girls extra content. Anyway, as they say, let's get on with the show.
Where dreams begin.
You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney theme parks podcast, and this is show number 340 for Sunday the 22nd of November 2020. Well, hello and welcome to this week's very super special Round the Table Disney Dream Girls experimental food eat challenge on the Magic Kingdom. As always, I have the lovely Jane. Hello there, Janie.
Hello there, Michelle.
And you're in Derbylicious land as usual.
As usual, yes. I can see you. Woohoo!
I know we don't normally look at each other when we're recording. We could probably be in a nightwear for all you know, but we are properly attired. All right, shh, stop giving away secrets. Okay. So let's get on an aeroplane and fly over to the east coast of the USA and say hello to Paul and Donald. Hi, guys.
Hello, how are you?
All good. What type of cuisine are you focusing? Are you meatitarians? Do you have any dietary restrictions?
We are going for delicious and filling and Disney-inspired good food.
Perfect answer.
Foods unusual that are specific to Disney and that we normally wouldn't eat at home because going to Disney would be a treat for us.
Perfect. I'm intrigued. What about you over in Welsh Wales, Tracy?
Hello, I've gone for food at the Magic Kingdom I've never had before. So it'd be a nice change for me, and money was no option for the dinner choice either.
I'm looking forward to seeing Tracy eating some snails then.
No.
Well, let's get back on that aeroplane and fly over to Canada and say hello to Deborah.
Hello, it's good to see you. And my choice of food was my initial thought was that I would be going for all of my favorites because I haven't been to Disney since just before the lockdown in February. And then when I got to the menus, I found out that almost every single one of my favorite is not available right now. Mm-hmm. So I had to find reasonable replacements.
Oh, another intriguing collection of food options then. So we're now going to fly over to Germany and say hello to Casey, aka Catherine.
Hi. My plan was I'm a vegetarian, so couldn't find anything with everything had to be without meat. And then also when I go to the parks, I tend to be a full blast person in the theme parks. So I tend to look at, what's going to really sustain me over the whole day. But obviously with some lovely Mickey-shaped items sprinkled in.
Perfect. Last not least, home of Disneyland itself. Let's say hello to Catherine.
Hi there. So I have not been to Disney World for about 6 years now. So I kind of looked for just what sounded really good as I looked through the menus, what was tempting me at the moment, along with a couple Disney classics and one snack that just kind of was meaningful to my husband and me. So it's kind of a little of everything, something that sounded good to my stomach.
All sounds good, and I can't wait to make a start. We're going to look at 2 snacks, 2 meals, and assorted beverages. But the question that's on my mind is Jane keeping keto, or is there going to be a sprinkling of something sweet?
Well, let's just say that I've tried to keep as good as I possibly could when it came to meals, but when it comes to snacks, it's not really possible. So I've kind of gone sweet and treaty.
Well, let's start with our snacks then, and we'll go around the room and see what everybody has selected for their snack. I'm going to kick it off with a bit of a sulky pout because I went over to the Sleepy Hollow and I wanted to have the amazing waffle sandwich with Nutella and banana and strawberries and but it wasn't available. So I've got a really big sulky face. So I ended up going all the way to the back of the park to Gaston's Tavern for a warm cinnamon roll, where I would probably just lick all the icing off and give Tom the rest of the bun, because too many carbs on that side a bit bad. I just keep all the sugar, which is the good carbs. So that's what I'm kicking off with. So Jane?
Well, funnily enough, Michelle, I have got two ors sort of thing. And my first was a warm cinnamon roll from Gaston's, because they're like massive and they're like very scrummy. And I just love cinnamon, so that suits me down to ground. Or I did look at Sleepy Hollow as well. You and I are two in the sink at times. But I thought, because Sleepy Hollow, the menu is so restricted now, I've seen a lot of the restaurants are restricted in what they're doing anyway. But they do a funnel cake. Now, funnel cake to me is always Epcot. I always think of Epcot and funnel cake. But I thought, you can have this funnel cake and you've got the sugar, so you'd be happy with the sugar, Michelle. And then it's got strawberries, so that's healthy. Yeah. Cream is good on keto as well. So apart from the funnel cake bit, it's quite keto, really. But that's me. So yeah, I snuck in two there. Sorry.
It's fine. It's funny how neither of us have chosen to go down the waffle sandwich with the spicy chicken either, isn't it, really?
No. Yeah, but I think this is a British thing though, isn't it? Because see, to me, waffle always implies sweet. So therefore you have to go with something sweet. So to put something savoury in a waffle isn't what we do, is it? So I never kind of go for that option. It's got to be a sweet option.
Okay, let's go over to Paul and Donald. What did you start with on a snack, guys?
When you took mine, Michelle, I'm going to Gaston's Tavern, having the warm cinnamon roll and also a cup of coffee, and that will act as our breakfast.
Perfect. It's the most amazing breakfast. And while you're at the back of the park, you see, you can sort of move through Fantasyland ready to sign up for your next snack. So I'm happy with that. Brilliant. What about you, Tracy? Do you do waffle and chicken? I'm just interested if it's a Welsh thing as well.
Because I hadn't been well, I didn't do my menu until this morning. And when I went online to check this morning, the fresh fruit waffle with Nutella spread was actually on there.
Wow.
So they must have just put it back on. It was $8.29.
Just for you, Tracy.
So I've not picked that as a snack. I picked that as my brunch. Sorry.
That's fine.
But my snack, my go-to snack every time I visit is just a plain red candy apple. It's got to be done.
Super dupes. Okay, Deborah, what would you be having?
Well, I was going to do the Nutella waffle, hold the bananas, because I can't stand bananas. They're gross. But Michelle misled us and said that they weren't available. So I went off and I looked for something else. So I'm going to do my morning breakfast snack is going to be the cream cheese pretzel and an Earl Grey tea with 2 Splendas. And that's at the lunching pad.
Perfect. See, Earl Grey tea, you know, at the moment I'm drinking it by the bucket load to get rid of my sore throat with a bit of honey in. So perfect. Perfect. Casey, what about you?
So we actually have a tradition, my mom and I, that every time we go to Disney, we have to have ice cream for breakfast at least one day. And so what we did this last time is we had a Mickey bar and a cup of coffee, and that was breakfast. And so that's what I picked for my snack for our beginning.
And there's nothing wrong with that for breakfast either, because you're on holiday.
Dairy's good, right?
It has calcium.
Okay, last but not least in the snack round, what are you having, Catherine?
Well, so I figured I had a nice big early breakfast at my resort. So I wasn't looking at something breakfasty. I had to go with a classic that I always like, a good warm Mickey pretzel with cheese sauce, which I found at the lunching pad. It's been forever since I've had one of those, even at Disneyland. And I just saw that and it made me happy because, you know, when you eat something that's Mickey shaped, it's just happy. Yeah.
Brilliant. That sounds great. Let's do some more snacks. So my other snack that I just had to have was going to be from Sunshine Tree Tavern, and it's going to be the citrus swirl, because although I've always been a Dole Whip girl, over the last few trips I have been sort of going more sort of orangey, citrusy goodness. So I'm going for a swirl, and it comes in just shy of $5. So that's a bit of a bargain price. What about you, Janie?
Are you and I just going to be in sync all the way through this, Michelle?
Definitely not with the meals.
Do you think not?
Oh.
Well, I have to say, I've gone to citrus swirl as well. Purely, I must admit, I'm a bit like you. I've always kind of gravitated more towards the citrus swirl than I have the Dole. Don't get me wrong, I love the Dole Whip, absolutely love it. But if given the choice, I always tend to go citrus swirl. So yeah, nice one for the afternoon when it's a bit warm and you want a bit of cool down. Citrus swirl.
Perfect. Good one. What about you, boys?
Well, it's similar. I'll pick up my Aloha at the Aloha aisle. Go and have a pineapple float for $5.99. And after the pineapple floats, we will meet you at the treehouse.
Perfect. I might just watch you climb to the top on your own, but that's fine.
You
I
won't be
must-
watching me climb it, I can tell you that.
I must admit that area is so improved once they've got rid of the smoking bit, because they used to hate it going over there with my Dole Whip, and that's where the smokers used to be allowed to smoke. So yeah, wonderful. Okay, Tracy, what about you?
I've turned right at the castle and I've gone to Anti-Gravity's Galactic Goodies stand, and I'm having a brownie sundae with vanilla soft serve over brownie with hot fudge topping for $6.99.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Never had one. I'd love to have one next time I get there.
The fudge sauce is just so amazing, because the fudge sauce we get in the UK is just insipid and runny and disgusting. It doesn't have as much sugar in because of our horrible government saying that sugar's bad for you. So, that sounds so good. All right, Deborah, what about you?
Well, I was going to have the pineapple upside down cake with Dole Whip. I'm not a huge Dole Whip fan. I also prefer the citrus swirl, but I couldn't find it at this point in the Magic Kingdom. So I went for a sad second choice at the Pinocchio Village House, chocolate gelato.
Ooh, nice. Casey.
So this is where I got a little cheatsy. So if it is allowed, I planned my snack to be right between lunch and dinner, because I think it's always best to try to hold yourself off of eating at peak times in the parks, because you just have so much more space and it feels so much less rushed. So I said that between dinner and lunch, I would go have a margarita flatbread at the Pinocchio Village House. And then I would also wash that down with a frozen Coke, because that's another one of my mom and I's traditions.
Sounds good. Okay, Catherine, last in this round.
All right, so my last snack, I went more as our dessert, because the dessert can kind of be considered a snack, right? And so at first, looking on the website, I missed the Aloha aisle, and I was thinking, does the Magic Kingdom not have regular Dole Whips? I was very upset. So thinking that, I kind of went a different direction. My husband and I had our honeymoon at Disney World, and our first night there, we had dinner at Tony's Town Square restaurant. So I am going there and having a tiramisu for $9, kind of a pricey snack, but just to bring back memories of our honeymoon, and I love a good tiramisu.
Sounds great. Okay, shall we go on to a main meal? Okay, so what I was thinking about for my main meal was value for money, because the main two options that sprung to mind was Cinderella's Royal Table, and I thought, $62, and then I thought, we'll be our guest, again, $60 plus. So I kind of went with Liberty Tree Tavern, because they have a set menu for $39 where you get a healthy salad, a declaration salad. Then you get the Patriots platter with the meats, the stuffing. It's basically Christmas dinner to me on a plate. And then you finish with ooey gooey toffee cake and ice cream. And I think for $39, that is such a really good price. And it's eat as much as you care to enjoy. So I might just skip the salad, eat the meat, and have double toffee cake and ice cream, because you can, because I'm on holiday. So Jane, where are you?
Well, I've gone over to Cosmic Rays, and I'm going to it's kind of half healthy and half not, because the main meal bit, the foodie bit, is quite healthy, because I'm going to go for a Greek salad with chicken. That's very good, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's feta cheese. It's all very me, it's the sort of things that I like to eat. It's $11.99. It's not too bad. But you know, if you're going to go for a meal, then you have to have your main, and you have to have a pudding, as we would call it, a dessert. So, and of course, if you go there, you can get the Cheshire Cafe cattail. That is that pastry with the chocolate and the purple bit on the top and everything. So, but that's only $5.49. So for what, $17? It's not bad going, is it really?
That's good, is that? And it's a nice environment to sit and enjoy your lunch in.
Yeah, I quite like it in there, and we've got a good memory with taking lots of photos in there. And then Simon's used a reference from, I can't remember the name of the animatronic character now, it's slipping my brain. But yeah, he used it for reference for creating some artwork for one of our good friends. So yeah, so that was quite nice in there.
Awesome. Right, let's go over to Paul and Donald. What have you come up with, guys?
Well, Michelle, I promise I'm not copying off of you, but we're also going to the Liberty Tree Tavern because we only had the cinnamon bun for breakfast. So we want an early, heavy lunch because we'll be walking around a lot. So we're also going to the Liberty Tree Tavern for $39 for adults. Children are $21. And I like it that the Patriots platter is a combination of roasted turkey breasts, pot roast, and oven roasted pork with mashed potatoes, seasoned vegetables, herb stuffing, and the house-made macaroni and cheese. So it has all the goodness you could ever want in one platter.
That's a table for three then, by the sounds of
Yes.
it. We'll share. We'll just get more gooey toffee cake. That sounds really good.
And then they will carry us out.
Our good friend Marla Chan recently went to the Magic Kingdom, and that's where she ate, and she got an ADR just as park was closing, and I think that was incredibly clever of her. I think the park was due to close at 6:30, and I think her ADR was around about that. So literally she was one of the last people out of the Magic Kingdom behind the man with the sweeping brush.
Oh,
And
nice.
it was great to get some nice pictures of Main Street. So that may be somebody's top tip. If you have it at the end of the day, for parks closing fairly early like that was, you know, you can have a really substantial meal and the bonus of empty park pictures, which I know for a lot of people are a must try to do.
It's good too.
Tracy.
I tend not to eat two big meals in the day, so I'll go for a light lunch, and that's why I said I went to Sleepy Hollow and actually found the fresh fruit waffle with chocolate Nutella spread. Sorry, guys. And I'll have a French vanilla iced coffee to go with it for $13.08.
That's good going. Okay, Deborah.
Again, my plans before I checked the websites totally had to be thrown out. But I was able to find a reasonable replacement for what I normally would eat for supper, but I have it for lunch this day. Do you remember when they used to have the bowl of meat at Pecos Bill's Cafe? And it was, you know, you get a taco shell and they put in just ground hamburger, seasoned hamburger meat, ground meat. And then you go to the fixins counter and then you throw on everything that you wanted. That's what I normally have. They do not have that right now. So instead I had the chicken rice bowl and a Coke Zero, and I found a Christmas churro, which I thought sounded delicious. And so my lunch came in at $21.50.
That's good. And I must admit, I share your pain at Pecos Bills, because last year I found that they had these little cauliflower bits that they put into tacos, and they were amazing. They were so good, but no cauliflower on the menu.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are not being offered right now, but there's reasonable replacements.
Cool. Okay, Casey, what are you up to next?
So I'm actually going to one of my favorite restaurants, actually probably my favorite restaurant in the Magic Kingdom, which is Skipper Canteen. I love it. I love a good terrible pun. So if you haven't seen the library there, all the books are terrible puns, and it's amazing. Chef's kiss. But what I'm going to try there is, I've had it before. The curried vegetable stew is really, really good. And then I haven't tried this, but they have a shandy there. So I don't like to drink too much in the parks because, again, I tend to go when it's warm. But a shandy it's basically a soda, so it's fine. So I'll have that.
Sounds good to me. And you'll be hearing about Skipper's Canteen a little bit later from me. Catherine.
So again, since I haven't been to the park in many, many years, I actually on the website went through every single place that was open and every single menu item. And there sadly wasn't a lot jumping out to me. I don't know if just because of the limited menu items. So again, I just kind of picked something I thought that sounds really good right now. Definitely not going the healthy route. I'm going to the Friar's Nook and having the creamy bacon macaroni and cheese tots because I love bacon, macaroni and cheese, can't beat that, and tater tots. That just all together just sounds amazing. That's $10.99. And I'll probably have some water, be good, and drinking lots of water and saving money throughout the day. So yeah, that sounded delicious.
That all sounds a bit of a smorgasbord of different things to try and eat because, I'm getting hungry now. That sounds fantastic. So Jane, what's left on your list?
Well, actually, I'm going to go over to Skipper Canteen. I'm going to have a splurge as it's my final meal of the day. I'm really going to splurge as well. I'm going to go for the steak.
Ooh.
It's only $34. So that's a big splurge, isn't it? So yeah, I'm going to go steak, which is quite keto anyway. So I'm still kind of sort of keeping to me keto-esque-ishness. But I'm going to have a pudding, and this is going to be the kungaloosh. This is chocolate cake with caramelized bananas, with cashew caramel ice cream and coffee dust. $9. But because I'm having a proper grown-up meal, I'm going to have a glass of wine as well, just because, I can. So I think there was a Cabernet Shiraz, that I picked up for $12 for a glass. I'll only be having the one glass at that price, though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm also in the Skipper's Canteen. Basically, because last year when I went and I did the food tour, we got to try little bits in different places. And one of the places they took us to was the Skipper's Canteen. And I had the most amazing, really tasty Orinoco Ida's carpaccios. And they were like little corn pancakes with braised pork in beer. And they were absolutely delightful. So I'm going to have that. And then I'm going to have the steak. And then I'm going to finish with a very healthy dessert, which is a coconut bar with pineapple basil compote and vanilla ice cream, which sounds amazing. And I am going to have a Schweitzer slush. That took me a while to practice saying that, which is basically a frozen apple juice with passion fruit topped with bursting green boba balls. So my bill there is just going to turn into £10 billion. But I love the environment. I love the atmosphere. I love the corny attitude of the skippers. It's just a win-win place for me. So I think that's proven to be quite a popular one with everyone so far. Paul and Donald.
Guess where we're going? We're going to the Skipper Canteen. And I also...
Stalkers!
Yes, I had trouble finding this on the menu because it's listed under Jungle Navigation Company Limited Skipper Canteen. So if you're looking for it, it's under the J's, not the S's. So we're starting out with the Jungle Green Salad for $10, which is basically an iceberg wedge salad with some peppers on it, some radishes, some pistachios, and some ahi pepper yogurt dressing. And I'm going for the Taste Like Chicken because it's crispy fried chicken served with jasmine rice, chili glaze, and seasoned vegetables for $24. And for the beverage, they have the Punchline Punch, which is tropical fruit juices and mango puree. And I'm getting the savory spiced rum in it.
Oh.
And they didn't have a price on that, so I'm guessing it's $10.
It's free. No price, it's free.
It's normally $5.50, but they will add alcohol in it for extra. My second choice was the steak, but I'm not going for any dessert because I'm going to stop at the Main Street Confectionery and get some fudge to take home.
Oh, that's a nice take-home gift. Okay, Tracy, what about you?
Well, it looks like I'll be sitting in Be Our Guest on my own. I've never been there for dinner before. It's a $62 set menu. So I've chosen Maine lobster bisque for starter. And then I've gone for the steak, centre cut filet mignon with, excuse my pronunciation, Robuchon Yukon potatoes, seasonal veg, cipollini marmalade, and red wine glaze for my main. And my dessert is a dessert trio, which is a lemon jam macaron, dark chocolate truffle, and a white chocolate chip cup, which I've seen somebody else have, and it looks so cute. It's a little chip. So, and to go with that, a glass of Enchanté Rosé for $12 a glass. And like Jane, it'll be just the one glass.
Top tip, if you ask the staff, they will box up the desserts for you because there's a lot of sugar, especially the Be Our Guest chip. I would eat the mousse out of chip and then get them to box up the little chocolate cup and have that later because it's tough going.
That's good to know. Thank you very much.
That's a pretty rounded off meal there for you there, Tracy. Sounds good. Just a shame we won't be enjoying it together like we have done lunch before.
Yes.
So we never met each other in England. We've only met each other in Florida.
We were going to meet each other, weren't we? But COVID got in the way of that.
Yeah. Well, as soon as it's over, we'll do a little breakaway again.
Yes.
Deborah.
So Tracy was worried about eating at Be Our Guest by herself, but she doesn't need to because we're going to have a Commonwealth meetup in the Be Our Guest. So normally, my normal meal is to have the pork tenderloin kids meal at Be Our Guest at lunch. That's not available. So I'm going to go with Tracy and have the adult prefix for $62. And I figured, hey, if we're doing 62, we're going to have the most expensive glass of champagne that's on the list. And I think it was something like $25. So no budget. Next time I go to Disney, it's going to be the best of everything the whole time. I've missed, I think, at this point, 6 trips. So we can afford to blow the budget on a few things. I'm going to have the French onion soup and the pork tenderloin. And I'm not too keen on the dessert platter, but we can box it up and give it to Tracy. And she inspired me with her hot fudge brownie sundae from earlier today. So I'm going to stop there. And then I might join Paul in getting some fudge as well, because, hey, why not?
All sounds great. We'll have to do a last minute dash down Main Street to see what everybody's going to grab on the way out. I'll be there with my supermarket trolley filling it. You never know when you're going to get back again. Come on, Casey, what else are you having?
Well, I've just been handed a slice of cake, but for dinner, I've never been to Pecos Bills. I don't know why, if we just have walked past it, or sometimes I know it isn't open, but Pecos Bills was like calling to me. So I'm going to do their veggie bowl and then tortilla chips and a side of guac. So that sounds good. I've heard a lot of really good things about there. So I would be excited to one day try that.
It does make me sad there because many years ago they used to have the molten burn your skin off hot cheese that you could pour and slather over everything. And
fake cheese is the best cheese.
And it was so good, but then they removed it. So it's like, no.
The other thing they used to have there was a massive nacho platter. And when I was down for a race weekend, and we gathered, I think, 15 or 18 people, many of whom I had never met before, because, you get in these Facebook groups of people who love to run Disney races, and we all met at Pecos Bills, and it was a platter that was probably, I don't know, 3 foot in diameter, and we sat there and we just on the nachos, and I have to tell you, it was an okay preparation for a half marathon the next day.
All right. One day.
Wanting to grab anything on the way out?
My go-to is usually the Mickey apple. So the one with the cute little marshmallows on top. And then also I love the Rice Krispie treats. I think they're the best. Like just the plain ones with the Mickey shape and the milk chocolate on them. I think those are the best, and they keep pretty well, so you can stock up for when you're having withdrawals once you get home. So yeah, definitely stopping again at the Main Street Bakery and the candy shop on my way out.
Awesome. Catherine.
Well, I'm glad that everybody's got their sort of dining partners because I'm going to be at Pecos Bills with Casey too. None of us are dining alone. That makes me so happy. So I chose one of my favorite places at Disneyland. One of our family's favorite places at Disneyland is Rancho del Zocalo. Mexican food. I mean, it's nothing out of the ordinary, but it's just fun to eat outside. They get sort of the lanterns hanging. You're by Thunder Mountain Railroad. So I was looking for something to kind of take the place of that. It's been a while since we've been there. So I'm going with the fajita platter at the Pecos Bill Cafe for $14.99. And I'm not sure if you get a choice of pork carnitas and seasoned chicken, or if you get both of those, but it just sounded good with rice and beans and the vegetables and everything thrown in a flour tortilla. And I haven't been there. I'm not sure when that opened, but I didn't remember it from last visit. So I will be there enjoying the fajitas with Casey.
Anything you want to grab on your way down Main Street?
Well, not on Main Street, but now that I know that they actually do have real Dole Whips, I'm going to quickly go, even though I had my tiramisu for dessert, I'm going to quickly go and grab a Dole Whip to scarf down on my way out. Double desserts. You can do double desserts at Disney.
Double, triple, quadruple, don't care. Your calories don't count, like the massive credit card bill doesn't either. So just going to go back to Jane. Is there anything you'd like to grab to take out?
Nothing that hasn't probably already been mentioned. The only thing that I suppose as Brits go, and Molly will make me buy this, is taffy, because we don't really get taffy over here in this country. I mean, we can get it. We have bought it through Amazon, because obviously you can get everything through Amazon. But yeah, there's nothing quite the same as having Goofy's Candy Company taffy for some reason. And then you get like a little box or a little tin that you can bring home. And I know I've got boxes in the cupboards that, you should normally throw away, but I use them and store things in them. So you get an added bonus of a container as well.
Jane, you know that place in Bingley near me that gets the Bourneville Old Jamaican?
Yeah.
They also have taffy.
It's a lot of taffy.
Well, it isn't Goofy's, but they do have the really long Laffy Taffy from the USA. And I've got a stick of wild cherry. And when Tom's not around tomorrow when I'm at work, I will test it and let you know, because they will come to you in Derby as well.
Right, thank you. Nice to have a supplier on hand.
They were great. I ordered it by 20 past 12 and it was here by 10 to 1. It was brilliant. It's like, oh my word. Anyone got any notable mentions they'd like to add or grab on their way out of the park? Well, I've missed off my favourite ice cream because it wasn't available when I had a look. But normally I go to the plaza and I get a waffle bowl and I have the raspberry sorbet in it. And then because I've been healthy and gone with a sorbet, I don't think I'm being too bad by having it drowning in the chocolate fudge brownie sauce and a cherry on top. And that is my always go-to favourite treat. But I will then run down Main Street and then I will grab some cookies to put the cookies as ears into the ice cream and make a do-it-myself little sundae. And then if I'm in the confectioners, I will have to pick up some bits and pieces to take with me, because I found some of the Disney baked goods do actually freeze quite well. So I'll be buying some and stocking up and filling the freezer so that I never have to be without. So
that's perfect.
It is, because I think we've all shown today that we are missing our Disney food. It's an integral part of our trip, and that we're already salivating and thinking about what we can have. And if any of our lovely listeners are in the theme parks, please do share some pictures of what you're eating, because we do miss it. It's really nice to see. It doesn't have to be an Instagram pose. It could just be, look, I've got a burger. That would be fine for me. Don't you all agree?
Yes.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for joining us this week. This is a bit of an extension of our weekly quiz where I set everyone a bit of a challenge. But guys, what do you all think? Would you be up and willing to do another one in a few weeks' time in a different park?
Definitely,
Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So I'll leave it up to the listeners to suggest which park could be a theme park, it could be Disney Springs, that you would like us to eat our way round, and we will more than happily do. And then one day, hopefully, when all this is over, we can meet up in person and have all of those dining reservations together. But until next week, it's goodbye from me.
Bye.
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 Bye.